Hey everybody, Dr. Gigglez here from the Hauntapolooza PODCAST. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing Demented FX. Demented FX is located in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and last year we went, so we wanted to come back this year and see if it lived up to the hype. So let's get into this. Alright, so Saturday night we went to Demented FX, and it was one of our favorite haunts last year, and this year I gotta say, still one of my favorites. Now let me break down to you about the haunt and about everything. So in case like maybe it didn't come across in the last review from last year, and then some new stuff that has happened this year as well. For the most part, the haunt is the same. A couple things seem different. Maybe I wasn't paying attention the last time, but for those that don't know anything about it, when you go in, there's an intro. There's a G-rated intro, then there's the R-rated intro. We always get the R-rated one, but if you got kids, usually they ask if you want the R-rated or the G-rated, but we always get the R-rated, which is hilarious. It's, you know, the do's and the don'ts and the, you know, the rules and such. One other cool thing about this haunt is you'll never bump into the group before you, and the people behind you will never bump into you. They've done something that I've never seen a haunt do, and I think I said this the last time, but they have automated doors. And they only open when you're allowed to pass through. So, as a group passes through an area, then your doors will open, which is nice. And what they do is they have the actors and stuff going around to keep it going, so you're not standing there twiddling your thumbs and bored, which I thought was great. The actors are great. Like I usually say, there's nobody, you know, there's no lazy acting. But because of all this, it makes the queue line move a little slow. Not a huge deal. They have a bar, 2 bars. They got music. They're playing music videos. They have scare actors. They have places where you can stop and take a picture. You know, zombies and stuff, promoting Demented FX. So when you take a picture, it does it. And I think it's all genius. I think it's amazing at what they do. And because of that, I keep recommending it. I keep going back. The haunt's about 20-25 minutes long. It's done very beautifully. The theming and the attention to detail is awesome. They have a bunch of animatronics. They have a bunch of these puppets that they're controlled by actors. You know, it could be a dog or a snake, or there's so many of them. And then, like, I did some research on them, and they're very, very expensive. They're not cheap. I mean, I wish I could have one in my house just to scare people all the time, because I think it would be funny just to have this thing. Somebody's like, "Hey, come here!" You know, you'd get some fatalities for sure. But in any case, usually for me, I hate when haunts rely on animatronics and stuff like that. This haunt has a mixture of everything. The actors, the animatronics, the puppets, all this other stuff. But it's all done in taste, and it's all done. It's a continuation of the story. The story is about you going into this laboratory, and something happened, and there's a scientist guiding you through, trying to make it so you can get out, and all this other stuff. And I don't want to reveal much more of the story, so that way if you've never been, I don't really spoil anything, but that's like the beginning of it. So with that, like, the animatronics are used in the right way, which is a rare thing, because usually a lot of haunts, when they're using animatronics, it's just something to add. Maybe they couldn't have an actor in this area, or they use this instead of an actor. Sometimes it's distasteful, but Demented FX gets it right. And the animatronics they use, they're not Spirit Halloween animatronics. These are like professional, top quality animatronics. So, and the same thing with the puppets. They're very good, and it's hard to explain the puppets, but they're big, they're massive, and they're awesome. Done very well. One thing I wanted to note is, and we've said this in posts that we've done, that there is an actor that we remembered from Six Flags New England's Fright Fest. He used to play a character named Mort. I don't know what his character name is now, but it looks like he's having a ton of fun. Just being himself, doing the character he wants to do, and it looks like he's having a ton of fun. So it's glad to see that, you know, not all's lost, and he's moved on to a haunt that he can be more of himself, where I can understand with being Six Flags, being a family park, you know, theme park, that you can't do everything you want to do. So your growth as an actor is stunted a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. So he's probably happy there. I don't know what the situation was, but it's just glad to see that he's there doing it and perfecting his craft, because that guy is awesome. I don't know what his real name is, but the dude's awesome. It was great to see him. Now, there was another thing that was new for this year, and I suspect that it was at the Big E when that was going on. I think it's called like the Meat Locker or something like that. It looks like it's in a camper when you go in their seats. And there's like this whole like zombie show thing going on inside, and it was awesome. I'm not giving anything away. It cost $5, and let me tell you, it was probably the best $5 I ever spent. It was cool. It was probably a 10-minute experience maybe, and it was worth the $5. Myself, Jessica, Danielle, and Jimmy, we had a ball. It was amazing. So definitely check that out. The whole storyline to it is cool, and the whole show is cool. So hopefully you guys will check that out. It's definitely worth the money. It's definitely worth your time. So overall, I'm giving Demented FX a 5 out of 5 this time. You know, being within the queue, it took like an hour to get through it, but I was still entertained between the music videos, the scare actors in the lines. They had some theming, some cool stuff in the lines. The intro is awesome. No Congo lines. Everything was just awesome. The story, the everything. It got a 5 out of 5, and I usually don't give 5 out of 5s. Usually don't do that. I usually do not give a 5 out of 5. So, that being said, Demented FX is definitely highly recommended this year. If you're in the area or you're looking for a haunt that's really good, check that one out. You will not be disappointed. Now, I know some people have complained to me they didn't like their queue line setup. And I want to address, I mean, I haven't talked to anybody at Demented FX about it or anything. Don't let that deter you, because we had a ball in it. Maybe a couple people that have said something to me, maybe they had a bad night, I don't know. But we had a ball in it. Like, we weren't bored. Like, the actors were on point. Everything was we were just having a ball. It was awesome. So, take that with a grain of salt as it may be. And hopefully that you go and you have a fantastic time. No, we didn't film anything. But as you can see what we've shown in here, that's what we got. And, you know, that's about it. But hopefully you enjoy it. 5 out of 5. Make sure you go. And if you do go, tell them that the Hauntapolooza podcast sent you. Till next time, everybody. Peace.